Hello, you wonderful people, and welcome to another episode of Not to Comic Book. This being a show, we're talking about TV shows that are adaptations of comic books. For today's episode, I'm going to talk about the latest episode of The Walking Dead. So in this episode, we finally get to hear what Carl's letter finally was to his dad. Obviously, it was him kind of reminiscing about a lot of stuff, about moments with his dad, and like a lot of stuff that he didn't think he would remember, but he does. Like these just little moments that he shared with his dad that he's saying to not forget those moments, to kind of have those moments with, Judith, but also what he's kind of said before of like not letting things be the way they are. That basically that things don't have to be how they are. That his dad could find another way for the situation to play. Like something that he's already kind of said before, essentially. Because basically he was even going as far as saying like maybe things would have been better if he had killed Negan. Maybe they won't be. The fact of the matter is that there is a bigger world. Because even after this, if they don't find peace now, there's always going to be another enemy, whether it's for the saviors or whether it's going to be an enemy for Alexandria. If you don't stop that now to find a way towards peace, basically it's just going to be one battle after another. Like it is more kind of, I think, in a sense, you almost have Carl kind of going down the savior route, not to the extreme route that they are, but saving people, coming together, finding other communities afterwards, making peace with the savior so they can come together and, you know, help other people survive this world, that they don't all have to be like the governors of the world or the saviors, that they can be more, they can be better. You know, that's kind of all his final words. Which resonates very heavily with Rick. I'm sure it kind of even makes him kind of regret what he did last episode, because also reminding Rick that there are workers in there, something that, you know, so caught up in their pain, Tasha and Tara. I said Tasha. What am I? Yeah, Tara and Daryl wanted to end things, so like they put even the workers in danger when they did the whole Walker situation to the sanctuary. But I'm wondering, does it make Rick regret? I think even that episode, like after he was all said and done, I think he still did regret it, like whether he really said it or not. I wonder if Carl's letter pushed that forward even more or not. But it's hard to say. But I did like a big chunk of the story is focused more so on the sanctuary. Like obviously Negan reveals himself to, lo and behold, who? Dwight. And it's like, oh crap. And then he start like, it's one surprise after another. It's like, oh, does he know about Dwight? It's like, oh, I guess he doesn't. Or he's trying to make Dwight kind of lower his guard. But he reminds Dwight, he's like, yeah, we've had our problems in the past, but you've always been clear cut about things. You've always been focused on your own survival. And, you know, as long as you can go about surviving, you'd always stick to your guns. And you've been so loyal up to now because you know the saviors are your best chance of survival. Then presents himself to Simon. Simon's apologizing about everything that went down with the hilltop attack. Well, it's kind of interesting to me. I was like, is he on purpose not admitting the whole, the way Negan refers to him as the garbage people, Jadis's people? I'm like, well, to be fair, he doesn't know that Negan knows about that. Negan didn't go out of his way. And the moment he's like, get on your knees, I was like, oh, dude, because like I'm flinching, and it's that thing again. I still say it each and every time. Like, even at this late point in the season, it still gets me. I'm like, he's about to swing Lucille. He's about to swing. He doesn't. Like I said, he literally hasn't used Lucille since the end of season 6 / the premiere of season 7. When it comes to like the only people who've seen him use it to, like, he's done it to like walkers, I think, but he's never done it to people, at least to my knowledge. Like the only people who've seen him do it is Abraham and Glenn. To be fair, I think I talked about this last season too, is I figured it was going to be a situation like that. It would never happen again. Mostly because it's a super violent way to go about things, and I'm sure they're trying to avoid that. I'm sure that they caught a lot of flack because of it being super violent like that. So that's probably why. But it's still that thing that he always swings Lucille around. You're just always waiting for that moment. And so it gives you that moment, and you're like, oh, but he's like, get up, Simon. He's like, don't worry, it's all forgiven. I'm like, okay. It doesn't stop there, because Simon's like, no. I agree with, oh man, you know, oh, Negan's ready he's coming back, and he's like, oh, we're going to hit the hilltop hard. So it's like, oh wow, he's taking a much more aggressive approach to this, because he's like, oh, basically we see hide or hair of anyone trying to leave like the farm area, like trying to farm, bam, we shoot him down. And it was like, holy crap. And Simon's like, oh, that's a good idea. And then what does he do? Literally, obviously not literally, but basically a minute later you have Simon going to Dwight, hey, time to end Negan. The fact of the matter is, like, basically his time is come and gone. Even going as far as being like, oh, gather up all the troops, all the other like-minded people. Because it's interesting too, because we do learn from Negan, like when him and Simon originally took this place, he realized even back then that Simon was kind of a sociopath, the way he took down people and stuff like that, as like the men and the boys. Like some people might call you psychotic with the way you've handled things, but it's like he's always kept his eye on Simon, and Simon's just kind of been a good boy, so he's always kind of been like, okay, you're good. But after this, I had a feeling that Dwight sold him out. I was like, I kind of feel like that was the best move in Dwight's play. And I think overall, it's hard to say. I made the argument that's probably the best option at this point in time, because like, well, Simon needed to be removed from the equation, because like you kind of make the argument he's probably a lot more dangerous than Negan potentially, especially as a leader. I was kind of wondering about, like, I was thinking like the entire thing was a setup, even the people being brought out. It's like, oh yes, Simon, he's going to be taken care of, but like everyone else, it's like in on it. Like I had this moment like, oh man, is everyone going to draw their weapons and shoot Simon or something like that? It's like, no, kind of the opposite. Other people show up and kill everyone else except for Simon. And then it turns into this one-on-one, because Negan's like, oh, you want it so badly? You want to be the man? Then prove you are the man by taking down the current man. And if you're able to do that, then obviously you deserve to be the man. And so it turns into a one-on-one fight. Simon going as far as saying, like, basically, because he even talked about, like, oh yeah, Negan deserves, something quick and quiet. It's like all the man is done. It's like, he's also talking about he didn't want things to go down. And it's like, obviously you did, because you've always probably, like, in the back of his mind, whether or not like, it's probably not even just a way, because he's probably always been waiting for an opportunity for Negan to, like, mess up, because for him it's probably a situation of like he always feels like he could do things better. Like things have always worked out perfectly up until now, until he crossed paths with Alexandria. Things were kind of smooth sailing, and now he's just pissed that Negan kept giving them chances over and over again, and he's just like, I'm a better leader, this is my chance to prove it. So it's like, you've just been waiting, because they didn't like the fact that Negan was like, oh, like, that's the Simon I know, the one that kind of goes like rushing in, not the one that does this like stabbing you behind the back BS. And Negan proceeded to kick his ass. Simon didn't go down like no punk, but he put up a good fight until Negan got on top of him and literally started choking the life out of him. It's like, yep. He's like and he's kind of basically saying, because of what Simon did, a lot of their people got killed. And not only that, you ran away like a coward. And on top of that, because of the situation you put us in now they will always be looking for an opportunity. Like Hilltop will always be looking for an opportunity to wait to strike. And instead of like doing things his way and making it so they completely submit, this way it's like now they're always going to be trying to fight back. And like now because of you, I have to kill everyone, which is not what Negan wants. He handles things his own way. People are a resource after all. So we do see that later on Simon is turned into a walker, because previously to that, like, Negan had went around taking Lucille and bashing in on the head of all the traitors. So, and then lo and behold, it is the fact is that it's like, oh, you're going to be my new second in command. And it's like, oh, I'm glad you could help out. He's like, oh, I can do whatever I can to help. It's like, oh, you already helped out. I was like, yeah. I was like, we haven't seen hide nor hair of it, but he loves leading everyone into a false sense of security. What I'm curious about is if he hadn't let Simon do what, like, I get the feeling Negan was probably going to kill Simon nonetheless. It's kind of what my thought process is, because especially like after he did what he did to Jadis's people, like I said, he didn't bring it up. But I think he was going to do it nonetheless, but he wanted to kind of make sure. He's like, oh, is Simon really regretful? Or what? I think he was hoping that Simon would make a move, because Simon was like, oh, there's no more moves to make, which is a total lie, because you had that move. But that's the whole point, because he wanted to see what Simon, I don't know. I kind of get the feeling like even if, I wonder if Simon hadn't done anything, would he still have killed Simon? I kind of want to lean towards yes, because of like, oh, he needed to be taken care of. And then Laura, it's like, oh yeah, like I was the one he met, because I was starting to wonder. I was like, oh, the fact he hasn't done anything to Dwight. I'm like, maybe it wasn't Laura he ran into. But I was like, no, it has to be her. It has to be her. Turns out it is. It is just a sense of luring everyone into a false sense of security. Plus, everything was part of his plan to make Dwight send fake notes to Hilltop about like the setup and everything like that. So there's that. It was sent by Gregory, which let's not forget about Gregory, trying to be this scheming bastard he always is. It's like you can't have an honorable moment in this entire series. At every point in this series, you've been a scumbag. You've had your slight moments of like, oh, Gregory, yeah. Oh man, you're such a piece of shit, Gregory. It's literally up and down with you, dude. There's no like happy medium with him, you know? It's like, First, he goes to Simon and he talks about the fact of the matter. Oh, look at you, Simon. Oh, you're a great leader. Yeah, Negan was great and everything, but you. And it's just like, oh, you're so scummy. And in the moment, like, Simon started losing, what did Gregory do? Oh, he started backing the hell away until like, I'm curious what would have happened if he had not, like, what would, if Dwight had never, like, given him the mission and return, like, what would he have done? Because he literally has nowhere else to go. He can't go to the sanctuary because the one guy he could rely on is dead. So it's like, can't reason with Negan. And obviously, like, for them to get the information they got, it's like, oh, we know exactly where you ran off to, Gregory. You went back to the Saviors, so F you. It's so obvious because, like, that's the only way he could have gotten that from Dwight. So it's like, you are obviously there trying to sell out yet again. It's like, could you literally go one episode without being a total piece of shit? Is that too much to ask for, Gregory? Holy shit, you know? I can't help it. It's like you've had your slight moments of redemption and you completely, once again, shit on it. Oh, it's crazy. So, Negan doesn't plan on killing Dwight. He plans on using him in some other manner. In what form, we don't know yet. But another aspect to this episode was Michonne reading Carl's letter to Negan, basically like saying like, oh, most likely he knows that Negan would still be alive, and still kind of basically the same thing he was saying for his dad, there to be moments of peace. But for Negan, it's past that. He's like, after everything that's happened, all that they've lost, is like, I didn't want this. It's Rick's fault. If you had just submitted and done what I've asked you to, Rick's the one that kind of put you in this situation. Let him know time for talking is over. Even in the slight chance that Rick would want peace, there would be no peace now. And that was something I was curious about, because you had the whole storyline with Aaron at Oceanside, which tried to convince them to fight. But it's like, if Rick tried to have peace with the Saviors, I mean, to be fair, the peace is supposed to be like, it is supposed to be with Negan, but it's also supposed to mainly be with the worker. So we'll see how that all works out. But nevertheless, I'm like, would that work out? Because Oceanside would be probably pissed if you let the Saviors live. So there's that whole complicated situation. So, you know, for Negan, there is no more talk. It's time for war and everything. And speaking of the whole Oceanside situation, that's Aaron for you. Like, that's one persistent SOB. Like, thirsty, haven't eaten. He's been out there the entire time outside of Oceanside's place, just living there, waiting for an answer. And obviously, they ignore him the first time, but obviously, like, he struggles and fights off those walkers, and everyone's just gathered around him when he wakes up, and you're like, is he dead? And basically, he talks about the fact of everything that they've been through. He understands that the reason why they are hidden away and they don't trust people, like, because the most dangerous aspect about them, it's like they had, like, because they were so beaten down and broken by the Saviors that they didn't want to fight back, that they pushed people away. They didn't trust people, that if anyone came, they would kill them. They threatened them. Like, that's their whole thing. And it's like, because of that mentality, you are still here in hiding. If you want to be free, you have to be free from them. You have to break free. Because if you don't, you just suffer from the Saviors. You'll always be like in fear for your lives because of the Saviors. So if you want it, you have to fight back. And I think this will be the moment that they heavily consider to fight back. So we might see them joining the fight next episode. But ultimately, we will have to wait and see. Especially because, you know, Aaron knows because of this fight, he lost his husband and everything, Eric, and it's just, he knows what it means to lose the people you love. I mean, because of the Saviors and everything, but this is a fight worth fighting, you know, so. And it's like I said, it's that conflict of interest in a sense, because it's like, you have one side being like, fight, but the other side you have Carl being like, don't fight, find peace. But it's one of those things that, like, even if you win this battle and fight, do you think you'll be able to find peace afterwards, or will you be still driven by the fight afterwards? Like, I don't know how this is all going to play out. Because we also have the situation with Eugene, Rosita and Daryl got him, and he's trying to plead and everything. He's like, oh, it's because of our old friendship that you let me live, and I thank you. It's like, shut up. You've had so many opportunities. Like I said, you're literally just as bad as Gregory because you had your chance. Like, you were on the, like, you had your piece of crap moments in the beginning, but you were turning it around. Even Abraham was starting to be proud of you. But then after everything that went down, you kind of turned back. Like, you were still on a good path, but then you turned back. And that's something that even Gabriel kind of, under these circumstances, kind of like, you and me are actually the same, Eugene, because he feels like he's that same person that Rick and the others met a long time ago. The fact of the matter is, I just thought about that. Gabriel doesn't know about Carl being dead because Carl is the one who really helped them fight back, find us. Because like even Rick has thought about that. Like Gabriel might not have been the most trustworthy person. Obviously, his circumstances, locking out his petitioners and leaving them out there to be eaten, and eventually turn into walkers. He grew and become braver, but and he's had his moments, but now it's like, now he's worried, like, oh, he's actually afraid to die. Like he's trying to mess with the bullets, but he doesn't commit all the way. And it's because like, oh, if the easiest thing would be just to die, but he doesn't want to die, nor does he want to help with these bullets, which would ultimately hurt his friends. So the fact is, they kind of make the fact is that he is sick, and even Eugene's kind of like, yo, cover your damn mouth because you're so sick that I don't want to take that into a situation that's going to end up ultimately screwing us over, which I kind of get the feeling that might be a role we see in this. Like, I don't know. It seems like, slow biological warfare. If Gabriel just got people sick, I don't think it worked like that. It doesn't seem like it's an outright infection. Even Eugene was like, it might be something like influenza or something like that. So I don't know. We'll see. But nevertheless, their plan for him was to lock him up. It's like, we're not going to kill you, which it'd be so easy and so much better, basically being the piece of crap coward that you are, that only care about your own life. Like Rosita was very close, because it's like, after everything the Saviors did and you went to them, yes, I get it. What you were doing, you were trying to save my life, that you were ready to meet the end of Lucille. But the fact of the matter is, you've continued to work with them after everything. He's had his moments of breaking, like obviously the Gabriel situation and the doc, but that didn't work out. But he has still chosen this path along this way. Like, even the fact of the matter is, knowing the people that he once called friends and allies. We were your friends, the only friends you had in this world, and you betrayed us. You helped kill some of us, You're the reason why the Saviors broke out and everything. Like, it's all your fault that things kind of ended this way, which he tried to spin him like, oh, it's Rick's fault. It's like, shut your mouth. And the bastard got away by throwing up on Rosita. Like, I thought, like, I saw him doing the thing with the index fingers. I was like, oh, is he counting down till he can wait for his right moment to run? It's like, oh no, he's literally making himself sick so he can distract Rosita long enough to get away. That's disgusting. Like, he threw up on her. You saw that look on Rosita's face, like, I'm ready to kill you now. Pretty smart of him hiding in the ash. I kind of figured that's where he would be. So now he's back. You're like, okay, Negan's back. Good. We're going to get these bullets ready for him for the attack. So, Sally, this is where we stand. Next week is, in fact, the season finale. It is full-blown war on all fronts. Obviously, Rick and the others are going to be heading into a trap that Negan has set up for them. We have no idea. I kind of get the feeling Oceanside's going to be by their side during this against the Saviors. Ultimately, we'll have to wait and see. What happens to Dwight? That's another question. Like, where does this whole situation stand? Where will things end up when it's all said and done? No telling who's going to win, who's going to lose. You want to root for Alexandria, but you'd assume it'd be Alexandria. But at the same time, we don't know how many casualties are going to exist on both sides. We don't know who's going to live and who's going to die. We will just have to wait to see what the season finale has in store for us. But really, that's all I want to talk about. Until the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, love life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and goodbye.